Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Ranelle and I am the mother of 3 girls and newly engaged. And I just want to welcome anyone new. I have so many new people and my channel is growing so large and I can't even believe it, so thank you. But we're going to go ahead and get started because this video is all about how to budget. And so I brought out a budget sheet so I could actually show you guys how to budget your paychecks and how I budget. Now, I am not a financial advisor. I am not telling you what to do. I am just simply explaining what works for me and my family and that there are other ways to budget. To begin with, I want to talk about a couple things. So the first thing you should do before you even start budgeting is you should always go through your receipts, your bank statements, and your card statements, your debit card, your credit card, whatever you use to pay for things. You are going to go through all of the statements for the past 2 months. Why? Because you need to know where your money is going. How much are you typically spending on gas, groceries, your bills, your subscriptions? Do you have a ton of subscriptions and maybe you need to cut back on them? You just need to analyze your spending and what you're spending on, because in order to budget, you need to know what you plan on budgeting. For instance, like gas. So say, every week or every 2 weeks, you spend $50, $60 in gas. You need to be able to put that into your budget. And so you need to know how much you're spending. Also, bills. So before you can even budget a paycheck, you need to know how much are your bills, when are they due. And I typically like to do a monthly budget and a paycheck budget. This is going to be just a paycheck budget. I can show you guys how to do a monthly budget as well, but I figured this would be more useful for a lot of people who are living more paycheck to paycheck. So in a monthly budget, you're gonna go ahead and take a calendar. You can use a third-party app, you can use your phone calendar, or you can have a physical calendar somewhere where you are going to see every day, whether that be your kitchen, on your way out the door, whatever it may be, in your office, wherever you are going to see it. Put a calendar up so you know your due dates of when your bills are coming out, and then that way you never ever miss them. That is so important. The next tip I have is you're always going to budget on the low side of your income. For instance, my fiance's check typically is $1,200. So I always plan to receive $1,200 on the low end, because if we receive more than that, we can always put that money towards savings, debt, spending, whatever it may be. But you never ever want to over budget and then you don't have the money for what you budgeted. I hope that makes sense. I like to budget the day before we get paid, and the reason for that is if you wait till payday, okay, let's say you have a direct deposit paycheck and it's going in on a Friday and you don't wait to budget till Friday. So you're going to go ahead and wake up that morning and you're going to see that money in your account and you're going to say, oh, I want breakfast. I want Starbucks. I'm going to go, what's $6? What's this? What's $10? If you have multiple people you're buying for, if you're buying breakfast, what's $40? It's not that much. Look how big my paycheck is. Before you know it, you have spent money that you needed for a bill or an expense like groceries. So don't do that. Budget the day before. I'm telling you, this makes such a difference. I can't tell you how many times I have seen the money in our account and I forgot to budget. And then that day of payday, because I'm so busy, I didn't have time to budget. So then that horrible cycle just continues until the next payday. And I didn't pay what I needed to pay. I was late. I had late fees. It is so important to budget your paycheck before you get it. And a lot of times you know what your paycheck's going to be the day before, the night before. So you can typically plan your budget then. Next, I'm gonna just point out, so find what budget works best for you. Try out a couple different ways. If a budget does not work, switch it up. You can always change your budget. That's the best part, is it's personal finance, and it's personal finance to you. So for example, if you have a hard time swiping like your card One, you can start the cash budget, which is taking all of your paycheck out and you put it in different envelopes. Like if you're a visual person like I am, that way it's there. You know, you don't have a card to swipe. You can see how much is in each category and you're like, okay, I only have this. This is all I have. I don't touch the others. That's personally what works best for me. Two, you can always, if you bank at a credit union, a lot of the times you can get different checking accounts or different savings accounts. And hopefully either the fees are a lot less banking at a credit union in comparison to a bigger bank. So you can get multiple checking accounts and separate your money there. And then if you don't have a problem with, you know, swiping your card and you're typically pretty good at that, then you can just keep maybe a sinking funds binder. What is a sinking fund? So a sinking funds is a savings that you're planning to spend. Okay, so an emergency savings is something you're planning for the unexpected, and a sinking funds is you're planning for the expected. So Christmas, birthdays, things like that are sinking funds. Vacation, right? You're planning those things. So you can always keep those in a cash binder and keep them categorized and saved there. Or you can always, you know, keep cash envelopes in your wallet for, you know, gas, groceries. That way you don't overspend those things if you want your money in your bank for your bills. There's a few different ways that you can do that. These are just a few examples. There's so many ways to budget out there. I'm just sharing what works best for my family and I. The next thing is, do you get paid monthly? Do you get paid bi-weekly? What's bi-weekly? So that's when you get paid twice a month, or then there's people who get paid every other week. And then there's always people who get paid weekly. So it's important to know how often your income is coming in. That way you know how many times you need to budget. And then deciding if you're going to be doing a monthly budget, a weekly budget. So I explained to you guys that I like to do a monthly budget and a weekly budget. Why do both? For me, a monthly budget is when I budget on the low side. So I know when all my bills are, I know that I can pay my bills that month. And then each week, I typically get paid every week, and then my fiance gets paid every other Friday. So we typically have quite a bit of cash flow coming in every month. And so I do budget weekly because of that, but also because it holds me accountable and it holds me to like my expenses every week. So instead of planning my expenses for the whole month, right, I'm planning the expenses every single week for gas, groceries, necessities, our dog, our kids, our spending money. That is just what works best for me. So I hope that was helpful. Now we're going to go ahead and go into this. So this is a paycheck budget. So worksheet. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to make up some numbers to help show you guys a little bit of a visual on how to budget. So you're going to take your income, and let's say, now again, this is not a monthly budget. This is just a paycheck budget. Okay. So let's say you're budgeting on the low side, right? Let's say, we'll make this easy. So let's say you get paid $2,000. Okay. So then let's say you have another income, like a side hustle, right? That's maybe only $200. Okay. So now you're going to add these up and you get $2,200. Okay. So let's say the bills you have due, just this paycheck. Remember, there are so many other bills that you could have. Okay. So let's say you have a water bill, okay, for let's say $30. Let's say your rent is due. Let's say it's $900. Okay, let's say your car payment is due. Let's say this is $250. Okay. And then let's say you have Netflix coming out. Okay, and that is $18. Okay, so, and this is just an example. I just named off some bills. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to budget. So first we're going to start out with our calculator. So this is our total, right? So next we're going to go ahead and total up all these. So we have 900. Okay, we have $250, $30, and $18. Okay, so that means our total income, or our total in bills, is going to be $1,150. $198, okay? So that's quite a big chunk out of your paycheck, right? So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take our total right there, which was $2,200 and $200, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead and minus our bill total, which was $1,198. That gives us $1,002 remaining, okay? So now let's say you have a debt payment. Let's say you have a medical bill, okay, that you owe a payment on. And let's say you pay $50 this paycheck. That means you have a total debt of $50. So now we're gonna take that $1,002 and we're gonna go ahead and minus 50, which gives us $958. Okay, so now let's say you're saving for an emergency. Okay, let's say you're gonna put $150 aside. Okay, so that means you're putting $150 towards savings, and this puts you at $802 remaining this paycheck. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to our expenses. So what are expenses? These are things that are not bills, they're not debt, they're not savings. These are expenses like groceries, gas. If you have a pet and you need pet food or, you know, litter, whatever it may be, if you need treats for your pet, whatever, okay? So let's go ahead and put that you need gas this week. You probably need groceries. Is that how you spell it? I feel like that's wrong. Don't come at me if that's wrong. It's really late. Okay, so groceries. And then let's say you have some necessities, right? So necessities are gonna be, again, if that's wrong, you guys don't come at me. I'm so tired. So let's say necessities. You need paper towels, toilet paper, laundry detergent, things like that, right? So let's say your gas is going to be $40 this week that you need. Your groceries, you need $100. Let's say your necessities is $100. Okay. So that's $240 right there. So now you have $240 as your total in expenses. So now we're going to go ahead and take the $802 after we minus our 50, right? Okay. Or I'm sorry, 150. Okay, 802. Now we're going to go ahead and minus our 240. And that leaves us with $568, okay? Now I am budgeting and I'm showing you how to budget for a zero-based budget. There are some people who do not like to do a zero-based budget, and then there are some people who do. I see a lot of the times that people who, like myself, are working paycheck to pay their bills do typically do a zero-based budget. Why? Because they need every dollar. And so a zero-based budget is where every dollar has a job, every dollar is planned, and that way, you know, you're using all of your money. Now, there are some people who don't like to do that. They like to leave a buffer in case they forgot about something and they needed it, or, you know, you just don't have that much going on and you want more spending money, right? You can definitely add your spending money to your expenses. I just didn't for this paycheck. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and show you is the second page. Now, this page is a sinking funds. So let's say you have your child's birthday. Okay. We'll put B-Day. Okay. We got Valentine's coming up. Okay. We've got, let's say you're already saving for Christmas, right? Okay. So now typically at this point, now if you have any investments, let's say you're investing in a stock this time. And let's say you're going to put $100 to this, okay? Now, since you know you're going to invest in a stock, we're going to go ahead and just subtract that $100 right now. So now what I like to do is I like to take this $468. Now let's say you want $100 for your kid's birthday, right? So 100, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and add that 100 right here. And then let's say for Valentine's Day, you want a date night, you wanna do a present, so we'll say 150. Now the reason I like to do it this way is that way it's every dollar's planned, right? So let's say Valentine's got 150, the remaining amount to Christmas, which was $212. Now, I understand this is just a template explaining how to budget, right? So if you add all of these up, you get $462, which should be your remaining right here, right? So $462 is your total, which means you are left with $100 because remember, we haven't deducted after this column our investment. So our investment total was 100. And now we have a remaining of $0. Okay. So if we did this correctly, when we do our summary total, this should come out to 0. Okay. So a summary total is where you take your income and you minus all of your categories. So bills, debt, savings, expenses, sinking funds, your investments, and it should end up being 0, which means I budgeted correctly. So let's go ahead and check that. So we're gonna start out with taking our income. Okay, we're gonna minus our bills. We're gonna go ahead and minus our medical. Go ahead and minus our emergency savings, our expenses. We're gonna go ahead and minus our sinking funds. And now we're gonna go ahead and minus off our investments. Now we are left with $0. So that is when you're gonna go ahead and write everything down. So you're gonna put your income, your bills, your savings, or your debt, I'm sorry, your savings, your expenses, your sinking funds, and your investments, okay? So, and then that left you with $0 remaining, okay? So this is just an example of how to budget and how you can do that. So I gave you guys a few pointers on tips and tricks that work for me and how you should start out a budget. And there are so many budgets out there. This is just a zero-based budget, which is what I love and what works for my family. Like I said, I am a low-income family. Our total income for a family of 5 is only $3,600 a month. Now, I say only because to some of you, that may seem like a lot. Maybe you have less than that. Or maybe to some of you, that's like crazy. How do you even have that like little? I have so much more, right? Everyone's finances are personal to them. So please do not come and judge someone based off of what they're prioritizing in their life. For me right now, I am prioritizing Disney World. Why? Because we've never been and I live in Florida, and how amazing to live so close to something so awesome. And I want to enjoy. Now, just because you're in debt and just because you're budgeting does not mean you stop living. Please don't put everything to your debt. And I'm not saying don't pay your debt. I'm saying you will burn yourself out and you will feel like that is all your life is budgeting, 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 debt, debt, debt. Okay, now if you can do that, more power to you. I cannot, okay? I still want to eat out. I still want to go do things. And I think that's pretty normal, okay? So I budget for my family and that what works for us. I'm just giving you guys an example on how to budget and what to do. So always, always, always pay your bills first. And honestly, I would say pay your expenses next, then your debt, then your savings, then your sinking funds, then your investments. Now, there are tons of ways you guys can pay your debts, and the snowball method, which is your smallest balances first, and then there's the avalanche method, which is paying the highest interest first, and that is because technically the highest interest account is your most expensive bill, okay, your most expensive debt. And so do what works for you, okay? If you need all these little payments gone, then maybe the snowball will work for you because it's the smallest one first, which means that payment is going to go away sooner. And that means more money you can put towards your debt. There's no wrong or right way to pick with snowball and avalanche. Avalanche will take off your time and how long you are paying because of that interest. And people typically seem to pay off their debt faster with that method, but that method may not work for you, and that's okay. Maybe that highest interest account is so big and you won't feel like you're seeing any progress. Do what you feel like you see progress in. Do what encourages you, okay? So maybe get a debt payoff tracker that you get to color in every time one of your bills is paid off, you know? These sheets are my sheets. If you're wondering, I will have the link in the description bar down below. I did launch my website today, actually yesterday by the time you're seeing this, so go check it out. I did launch my website, and I want to specify that my website is digital download only. I do not send stuff, okay? I just want to point that out. You can use my stuff in print just like I have. Okay, if you have a printer, and then you can also use it on your iPad, you can use it on your computer. All you would do is you would type over it or write over it if you have an iPad with an iPencil. So I did want to let you guys know that my website has launched, and I'm so excited about it, so nervous about it. It's such a big milestone for me, and so I am really excited about that. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a comment down below, hit that like button, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions. If you feel like I didn't hit on something or you want me to go in more detail about something, please let me know and I will definitely respond. I respond to every single comment, so please leave a comment down below if you have a question and I will get back to you. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 1,000, and at 1,000, I am doing a giveaway. Now, I did do a poll on YouTube asking you guys what you wanted to get, and you guys all picked, most of you anyway, picked the box of goodies, which is like gift cards and budget stuff. So I will be picking that stuff up slowly and hopefully getting all that stuff soon and showing you guys what the giveaway is going to look like and what you're going to kind of get. So stay tuned for that and subscribe so you can be a part of that giveaway once we hit that goal. 1,000, I feel like, is such a big moment in every YouTuber's journey. So I just look forward to being there, and I thank you guys for all of your support and everyone who has already purchased from my website. It means so much to me. I will have my Instagram in the description bar down below, but also right here on the screen. You guys can follow me over there. I share way more about my budget and my personal life. So the next video you guys will see will be my 2022 goals and my challenges for this year. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.